Okay, let's do this guy. Ooh, are we enjoying this? Hold on. Okay, it needs our water. Okay, hey, what's going on? Last time we did a sit down video, it looked a little bit different. I think with all of the upgrades and all that stuff, people have been taking a notice and have been asking a lot about some of the gear and the equipment that I use and how I color grade my videos and how I edit my videos and how I get that look in all of them. And I think it is a great time to talk about some of the gear that I'm using. This is not a super gear focused channel. I don't really talk about tech all that often. I think that might change in the next couple of videos because it's something that I really have been getting into and I want to tell you guys about it. So let's do the thing. How does Ray film her videos? Ray, how are your videos so crisp? Well, I'm shooting on the Sony ZV-E1. This is a camera that you have probably heard a lot of creators talk about, especially in the content creation space. It's a very great camera. It has the same sensor as the FX3 and some of the higher up cameras, like cinema grade cameras that Sony offers, and it is absolutely awesome. It is in a tiny form factor. It's about, I would say, like half the size of an FX3 if you've ever held one of those, or an FX30 if you've ever used one of those guys, and I absolutely love it. It's a full frame camera. It has been a dream. I am really, as you're gonna see, into the compact, low-key setups. I don't really like anything super big, bulky. Even if it means sacrificing a little bit of quality, I'm willing to do it because I'm kind of a shy person in public. I would much rather not stick a ginormous camera in people's faces or just be seen holding like an FX3 on the street filming a farmer's market. So this works perfectly for me. It's also great for travel, little gigs where I have to bring it up with me, and it's great for hanging on things, which you will be seeing is something I'm really into doing with this camera. What am I shooting on right now? This is the Sony 35mm f1.8 lens. It is an APS-C lens, I believe. It is not a full frame lens, and hence you get a little bit more vignetting if you kind of know lenses and stuff like that. You may realize that this is not 35mm. This is kind of more like 37, 38, perhaps 40 if we're really getting into it, because I'm using the APS-C mode. I'm using the mode where you can basically zoom in and crop the lens to get rid of the vignetting, basically. I feel like this is gonna be the lens that I use for future sit-down videos. I use this lens the entire time for my New Orleans vlog. If you're interested in seeing that one, it's very, very cropped in. And this lens is also f1.8, so it gets pretty good footage in low light, which is something that I've realized. I've learned a lot about cameras in basically playing around with the ZV-E1. I really like this thing. It's really, I think, made me a better videographer, whatever you want to call it, YouTuber, content creator, whatever. If I ever go on client shoots, I also feel like this is going to be able to hold its own, but I guess I'll see on my internship this summer. So that's the first lens that I use. Chances are, if you've seen the last 4 or 5 videos, I have been using this guy. This is the Rokinon 18mm f2.8, and oh my god, this is a full frame lens and it is the best investment I have ever made. I'm saying investment in quotations because this cost me $150 and I love this thing. I think it is the most like jarring lens. It's very, very wide. I'm gonna be obviously showing you guys clips from different things that I have done with it. It's almost fisheye, but not quite. Like, it's not so wide to the point where you're like, wait, and there's not really any distortion on the edges of the screen. And then using the APS-C mode, I can crop it into like 20, 24. It crops in quite well, and I really, really like how versatile this lens is. If it breaks, I'm buying another one. I don't really know, and it's tiny. It fits into my palm, and I don't have big hands, guys. This is awesome. I love this thing. As some of us may know, if you're into Sony stuff, their lenses are incredibly expensive. Lenses in general are expensive. Their wide stuff is really expensive, and I was looking at some of their G line, like the 24mm, and also it might be a G line as well. I'm not sure if it's G Master, but they have a 16mm. It's a native Sony and it looks gorgeous. And I think it's like f1.4, but I'm not necessarily sure. But those were upwards of $700 to $900, and I do not have that kind of money right now. Mama is saving up for a MacBook Pro. So to the Rokinon lens also. Yeah, those are my 2 lenses that I use. I only have 2. There may be more bought in the future, but at this moment in time, I'm very satisfied with what I have. Okay, this next thing is a non-negotiable, girls, okay? There is going to be a common trend of me not believing people when they tell me that I need something to make videos look good, to make image look good, and going forward not believing them and then suffering. So For the longest time, I never understood why people used variable ND filters. I'm like, turn the exposure down on your camera, close the aperture range, just like adjust the shutter. Like, what's the problem? Girl, let me show you what this looks like without an ND filter. I look nasty boots, don't I? I look nasty boots. I look washed out, don't I? Hold on. Anyway, you know how much this was? $15 on Amazon, KNF Concepts. Which brings me to my next point, get an ND filter, okay? Get an ND filter for your lens, look at the thread count, order one. KNF Concepts does some great stuff, okay? Make some great ND filters. I'll put links to the description of what I am currently using, what I use on this guy, and also what I use on my Rokinon as well. Because I believe they're different. This one is a little bit more pricey. I think I paid like $25 to $30 for this one, but quite frankly, I think that they're great. Anything from KNF Concepts is gonna do great. I know there are some issues with specific ND filters that cause some color distortion, I believe, but with mine, I don't know if I'm as advanced in color grading yet to understand what that means. So we'll learn and we'll roll with the punches. I'm using this right now and that's what we're gonna go with. So yeah, get an ND filter. Variable means that you can spin the top ring and then do this. Where'd I go? I'm back. All right, staying on the topics of cameras, I think it's very important if I talk about my B cam. The first camera that I used to start this YouTube channel, the camera that couldn't focus on my very first video and everybody commented about it even though I said that, hey, it's literally blurry, babes. This is the Fujifilm X-Pro 2. This is, again, if you know anything about cameras, this is a photography camera. Pretty much only a photography camera, but it's all I had. I used to shoot climbing photography on this for the club that I'm a part of and or just like event stuff. It was a hand-me-down from my brother who also used to do like professional photography with this thing, street photography, professional photography. It served him incredibly well. It is really not meant for video, hence why it can't autofocus for anything. Like it could only record in 10-minute increments, and even then, like it could record 4K, fine, but like it would cut me off every 10 minutes. And you know I yap. One thing about me is I talk a lot, so it was kind of an annoying thing to have to deal with, but you know, we persevere. Yeah, so this is what I use for Bcam. This is probably what you're gonna be seeing all the footage of like the body of the camera of the ZVE one and stuff like that, and the different lenses that I use on that thing. But yeah, I don't know, this holds a special place in my heart. I am selling a lens or two from this camera because quite frankly, I just don't use this enough. If anything, I use it for street photography. I'll probably be taking this on trips, but honestly, the sensor on here is good enough for most of my photography needs. So we'll be looking into what I want to do on this thing. I really like the film emulations that you can do with these and how Fuji color looks because it's gorgeous. It's like one of my favorite film stocks to shoot on, as some of you may know. But yeah, okay, we have gotten through the camera stuff. Let's get into a little tripod. I think this is one of the most asked about pieces of equipment I have received questions about. How do I get the hanging shots in my videos? How do I get such high angle shots? This guy. This is the pgytech mantis pod, and I think this is my favorite thing ever. It's a little vlogging tripod thing, so you can, you know, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope that you guys are having a great day. But also, it extends out if you press this button right here. And it has like 3 legs, so you can have it stand up on a surface. But the coolest thing about this thing is on the back thickest leg has a little mantis arm. Awesome. You can stick it on doorways, get on the edge of a bed, anything that was just like a good stable place to hook, you can stick it on there and it's awesome. If you like higher up shots, grab one of these. They're about 50 to 60 bucks, I think, on Amazon. I think this has been one of the greatest investments I've had. Also, honorable mention, I am probably gonna be getting one soon, a magic arm. They are way cheaper, and if you want to get something that kind of like does the same thing as this, but just a couple different features, it's a clamp that you can put your camera on and then really just tighten the clamp onto any surface. So it's a little bit more versatile than this guy, but I would say that if you are positioning a camera, if you need a little tripod, this kind of does a lot for what it is. Also comes with an Arca Swiss plate, which is really, really cool, and you could just mount it on there. You can also probably attach your own. I think that this part screws off, and you can do, I'm assuming, a bunch of little attachments on this guy. So also a mic mount on this side, so you can like clip like any hot shoe mounts onto it. Thank you, pgytech. You are that girl. And the tripod that I'm filming on right now, I believe this is the KNF Concept FH03. Yeah, Ray remembers the model number of something. Look at me. This is a new edition as well. I feel like a decent amount of these have been bought in the last couple of months just because I didn't do content creation before the last couple of months. Before this, I had an Amazon Basics tripod. And before that, I had, I think, a newer tripod that I got 7 years ago with my grandpa. It had like the screw-on adjustment things for the arms. But yeah, this guy is great. She's aluminum. She is quite heavy, but also this has the tilt arm thing that I can use for overhead shots, and I absolutely love it. That's kind of why I bought this. I'm not sure if this is the best thing to travel with because she is heavy boots. She's really, really heavy, but I really, really like her. She's very sturdy, and also I kind of like use this as a really high angle, like, cause it's taller than me. It's about, I believe, like 7 feet tall almost. I would recommend if you like a high angle shot, you could just put all legs up and then just get the high angle shot too. You don't even need the pgytech thing. I'm giving you options. And I also put an Arca Swiss plate on the tripod as well, just so I can just quick release the camera from the mantis pod to the tripod to wherever. I feel like I'm gonna put an Arca Swiss mount on every single thing that I own that needs one, that can use one. Honorable mention, hold on, while we're here, Arca Swiss plate. Get one of these, put them on your camera, put a mount on every single tripod, whatever you own. Just thank me later. This was $20. I think you can probably get it for cheaper. The focus on this camera has to stop being so good, please. Honorable mention to this girl. I literally had it on the floor because I needed to remember. This is very important. If you're gonna take two things away from this video, get ND filters and have good audio. Does it need to be the DJI Mic Mini? Great segue, Ray. No, it doesn't have to be that. I used an iPhone for the first couple of videos that I recorded, and the audio was more than sufficient, mama, okay? I'm gonna tell you that right now. It was more than good. This camera, the Sony ZV-E1, also has like really great built-in audio. So a lot of the time when I don't feel like putting this on or whatever and using the other microphone that I'm about to talk about in a second, I just use that, and then you can kind of equalize it in whatever editing software that you're using, and it sounds perfectly good. I'm not even gonna lie. This is the DJI Mic Mini. I think I had this in a favorites video of mine because when I bought it, it was just like world of a difference. I love these things. They hook up to your phone, they hook up to your camera. It's a plug and play thing. You don't really have to fumble around with it. You don't have to do anything super crazy with it. I think it's a great investment. Again, if you're a content creator, if you're doing any videos or anything like that, I used these in my climbing club reels. I have used this in my personal content. I have seen professional companies and production companies who make reels or advertisements for other folks use these as well. I think DJI really did their big one with this. And I know that they released like a newer Mic Mini with swappable plates and stuff. So you could do really cool like gel plates. I really like how that's coming back. Very colorful, very cute. But it doesn't have to be this. I know that there's a bunch of wireless mics that you could just plug into your camera. I know Rode makes some. I know that there's some like Elgato ones as well. There's other ones on Amazon. Check them out. They're pretty great. I think these are just like the most accessible and cheapest ones that you can get, or the cheapest, best quality ones that you can probably get, because you're listening to them now. You've been listening to them for most of this video. You've probably been listening to them for most of my videos if you watch. Another option that I think is also really great if you don't feel like, you know, having a lav mic on you is a boom mic or a shotgun microphone. These are really, really great. Sony makes these really expensive, but really, really cool, like hot shoe mountable mics that you could just put onto your camera. They're super tiny and the audio quality is so great. You could just put them in auto and it sounds delicious. But I don't have $300 to spend on that at the moment. So I checked out one of these Rode VideoMic Go's. These may look very similar to some of the ones that you've seen like old school YouTubers using on their cameras. They're ginormous, okay? They have tinier ones, like little ones that you can hook up. They go into your hot shoe and they sound pretty great. Also use this in a few of my videos. I'm gonna continue just renting this one out and then see how I feel about it. Chances are when I get the funds, I will be buying a Sony one because those are just gorgeous and beautiful. But also they come with like a little wind filter thing. This is what shotgun microphone looks like. That's audio done. Now, here are a couple of my things to make your life more convenient. I believe that some of these could be negotiable, but other ones are non-negotiable. We'll start off with the non-negotiables. An external hard drive. It can be an SSD, it can be a normal hard drive, it can be an SSD that you put in a cage, whatever it is. Hold on, give me a sec. I'm getting there. All right, it could be a SSD that you put in a heatsink and then use as an external hard drive, but don't edit off of your computer just like that. You're gonna be absolutely filling up your disk space. If you're anything like me, I record in Sony S-Log3 in 10-bit. So those files are ginormous. Even if I get some of the more compressed files, I don't know what codec I record in. I'll look into it and then I'll put the technical stuff here. You do that, Ray? Thanks, girl. Yeah, this is a Sandisk external hard drive. I know the prices of these have gone up. I bought this for $120 like 2 years ago, I think, and now it's nearly $300. I know that times are tough and I know that things are expensive. If you have one of these, great. I'd really recommend buying one of these. It doesn't have to be this one. It can be like another like 1 terabyte one, but just something to edit off of just so your footage has a place. This is like my livelihood. I love this thing. It treats me so well. I know some people have had problems with these and I've talked about it before, but check it out. I know Samsung makes some really great ones, the Evo drives, the Tough drives from Samsung as well. I know Kingston makes some great ones. I'll link a couple if you guys are interested in there, and I'll try and find some of the ones that are the cheapest but also have good quality as well, and I'll put them down there. Non-negotiable is a camera charger, battery charger. I use this one. Guys, please. This one, oh, I sticker bombed the hell out of it. Oh no. This is a newer battery charger. It has like the claw is crazy. I really enjoy it because I think this is one for travel. You can also store your SD cards in here. Hold on. I have never actually stored my SD cards in here, but you can do it. You know what? You can do it. They flip open. You can store 2 SD cards in here and then charge your little things. It also comes with 2 extra batteries. They are not Sony batteries, but they're newer batteries, and I believe that they're the same milliamp hours as the Sony. And I mean, you get a charger and these, and then the camera doesn't even come with a charger. I get 2 extra batteries. So I have heard a couple of people say that you can use this as a battery bank, and I'm not sure if you can, but you charge it just using USB-C. But I also believe there is a way to charge it through mini, whatever, but there's also a USB port. So that makes me think that it could be a battery bank, which would be awesome. Can I just try it? This just in, it's a battery bank. Oh my God, this is so epic. That's about like 5,000 milliamps. So if you're in a pinch and your phone's almost dead. The next thing is going to be a light. Now, for a while, I would say that this is a negotiable, but I think that this is gonna be on the side of a non-negotiable. This is like an LED light panel that I got from Amazon today, and I'm already seeing the difference that it makes. It's kind of insane how good this thing is. It's literally USB powered and it's super chill. And I also just got a diffuser for it, like a super simple, just box diffuser thing. Put the diffusion paper, and then I put a grid over it. And then now it just looks super cool, not getting much shadows. It's like light, you can adjust the brightness and the temperature. I don't know if I'd super recommend this. If you're on a really tight budget, kind of like I would say that this is pretty good. It was like 20 bucks for the panel, 20 bucks for the diffusion kit. Chill. I'll let you know how it is in a couple weeks. And the last thing that I use in terms of equipment is an SD card holder. This can be negotiable. You could probably like throw half of these in a bag or something, but I think it's pretty cool. I got this one again from like Amazon and I sticker bombed it. And it just holds all of my different SD cards on it. The SD cards that I use, if you guys are interested, if we want to get super technical on it, are these V90 cards from PNY. They were just the most affordable V90 cards with a pretty good read and write speed. So I went with them and I have 2 of them. I bought one a little while ago and I bought another one a couple days ago because SD card prices are going up, guys, and I would like to have more than one to film my stuff on. So that's all the equipment that I use to film my videos. Hopefully that was pretty informative and stuff like that. Some of the softwares that I use, and I've been asked what I use a lot. I've been asked if I use like editing apps on my phone. I am a pretty old school type of gal. I am a film student and I've learned how to use Premiere for the last like 7 years. So that's kind of the one that I use to do all of my editing, also color grading in there as well. I am not the person to tell you how to color grade your videos. I don't think I am up at that level yet to be really giving you guys tutorials or how I really do it. I honestly just throw in my footage that's already, recorded in log 10 big. I throw on a Sony input LUT and then I just adjust a little bit depending on what the exposure looks like, if I want the saturation up. Usually my videos have a lot of high saturation, a little bit higher contrast, and some higher highlights as well. So if that's anything that you're interested in, I could do a more in-depth tutorial. I may just put like little pictures of what some stuff looks like before and after I color grade it with some of my settings that I use, but I think that's the extent of what I'm going to be doing. Also, how I make my thumbnails and all that stuff. I use Photoshop. I get the full Adobe suite from my university, so it's pretty easy for me to use. I've also been kind of a user of it for the last 7 years. I'm quite a novice at Photoshop, so it's not really that big of a deal, but most of the times it's just screen grabs of the video and I put little things and fonts behind it. Also, I'm just answering all the questions that I've been getting about how I make my videos. The font that I use, I believe it's Nudgewink Pro. I use it off of Adobe's font website, and it has become my favorite font because who knew that fonts are so expensive? I was looking into fun fonts and I initially wanted to buy one, and I found out that the entire suite was $750. What? Little to say, I was shocked. So we're using a free font. It's my favorite font ever. I love Nudgewink. I think it's very me, and yeah, that has been how I make my videos. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed some of the things that I'm talking about. If you guys have any more questions about the equipment that I use, the things that I do for video creation in general, drop them in the comments. I will be as responsive as I possibly can on this one as well, because I think I've just been getting a lot of questions and comments about this. So wow, I haven't done a sit down video in a while. Thank you guys for the support lately. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, commenting, being really sweet and kind in the comment section. It's generally very positive, which is really rare on the internet. So thank you. I appreciate you guys so much. Have a great week, and I'll see you next week. Bye.